Yo guys, Spotbot here for Clash of Clans, and we're going to be talking about Boom Beach as well, and what does it take to be a top player in these two games. I think there are a bunch of different aspects at it. Here's my base, just give you a little short update before we get into it. I'm still using my Barbarian / Minion army to attack. I'm at 1,819 trophies, that's about 300 above where I started the whole base defense videos, where I started with the Spider Bite base and then went to the other one, the ultimate, this one here, the Town Hall base defense. And I've been doing some attacks mainly to get gold in order to upgrade my walls. Now I think all my intersecting walls have now been upgraded, so now I'm starting to work on the interior ones. And the reason why I tend to work on the interior ones is because if players are going to use wall breakers, and they can use hog riders to jump over whatever, or jump spell, but if they're going to use wall breakers, typically the wall breakers are going to break the exterior walls, and I think I want the interior walls to have a bit more health, because generally speaking, the wall breakers won't be attacking them. It'll just be regular army troops, right? So anyways, as far as becoming a top player, I think there are a bunch of aspects, and we can look at some of these top players. And I was looking at this before I started recording. It's kind of interesting because barely anyone wins defense at this level. Okay, so if you look at they're obviously in the top league, but the defenses are horrible, right? Nobody wins defenses, barely, at this level, and they're attacking like crazy. Right, so let's go up to the top here, and unless there's something I'm missing, perhaps they're using some sort of shield in some fashion. But when you purchase a shield, you can buy it for a day. There's a cooldown, right? Same with a 3-day and the week-long. So this top guy, Dracula, he's won 120 attacks and 4 defenses. The second guy, he hasn't won any defenses, right? I don't know how many times he's been attacked. It doesn't tell you that, but just looking at this, the win. The attacks won versus the defenses won ratio, they're hard pressed to actually win on defense. So, it takes time. I mean, I could sit here all day and go up 200, 300, however many trophies just by running attacks. And it's just the time that I have to put into it. So obviously time, and it does take a certain amount of skill, but you can 50%. You can pick and choose a lot of bases, and depending on your army configuration, you can find a base, generally speaking, that you can at least 50%, or take the town hall if you're town hall sniping or whatever, and move up. Maybe not this level, but you can still go after that 50% and move up trophies. And it's just a matter of putting in the time. I mean, you don't even have to, go take a look at this guy, right? And this is a perfect example. And I see people running videos of, oh, I don't have any defenses, and I'm going to make it to an epic number of trophies, but it's all based on the amount of time you have to put into it, to put into attacking. You're online. I mean, if this guy gets attacked, he's going to get owned, right? To a degree. It's a matter of the time that you put into it. Okay. The other aspect, I mean, these guys, and especially in Boom Beach, I mean, these guys, I would imagine that the majority of these guys that are at the top of these player levels have spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. And I'm talking players at this level, other players on YouTube, etc. I mean, they spend on a regular basis hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in order to get here. And I was just looking at a site that sort of tallies up how much it would take in order to upgrade everything. If you just purchased everything, it would cost you well over $11,000 in order to from Town Hall 1 all the way up, right? And also, if you had the resources, an endless stream of resources, it would take you at least 453 days in Clash of Clans to upgrade everything, okay? All the way up to your Town Hall 10. Okay, that's insane. Actually, it's closer to 500. Sorry, that's with 6 builders huts. This website page I'm looking at, I'll link to you in the description. With if there were 6 builder huts, it would take you about 453 days. And I don't know if it's up to date, give or take maybe 10, 20, 30 days, whatever. With 5 huts, it's closer to 500 days. I mean, that's, you're approaching, what, a year and 8 months, something like that. So 20 months in order to basically get everything upgraded. And that's kind of what we're doing, right? I mean, it's going to take us longer than that because we don't have an unlimited supply of resources, and I'm working on the walls, and I want to get everything upgraded to wall level 8 here before I go to Town Hall 9, right? So it's going to take me even longer than 20 months. So in order to become a top player, it's just a matter of time, but the game keeps evolving. So am I forced to spend money on gems in order to attempt to even get close to becoming a top player? I think that would be required. I think that is almost a required. It's a pay-to-win game, and it always has been. Okay, and then there was talk about the top guy, Jorge or Yao or whatever his name was. Just having multiple iPads, running multiple accounts, just to prevent him from losing trophies. So you call that quote unquote cheating. Is that an aspect of this game? Yeah, absolutely. And there's no repercussions either. And we're going to switch over to Boom Beach because that's another one I want to talk about. Obviously another game by Supercell. It's coming out worldwide in March on iOS, and I think later March, or maybe a bit later than in the year or something, possibly for Android. But it's the same sort of thing. So here I am. I'm only on my headquarters level 8, and unfortunately I get matched up with guys that, HQ 10, HQ 11, had a couple of HQ 12s. But again, if we go look at the top guys here, and I'm going to show you an image here shortly that just shows you the amount of cheating that gets involved in this game. Now, I would suspect that in order to get everything upgraded to HQ level 20 and have almost everything upgraded, right? Landing craft level 20s, level 18. I mean, most of his defenses are upgraded. Level 17 flamethrower, level 20 cannon, etc. Right? It would take you probably a year to do this if you were to do it just by battling and raiding and gathering resources and updating or upgrading your stuff and building new buildings according to the time amounts that are allotted for each of these builds and upgrades, right? It would take you probably, my guess, and I don't think anyone's actually calculated it, but probably well over a year. Well, this game was released in November. It's been what? December, January, February, 3 months. It's been 3 months since this game's been released, and this guy has pretty much everything upgraded 100%. Okay? Not quite yet, because, I mean, he has some of these landing craft that need upgrading. And you can also tell that there's a bit of a slight imbalance to the game because you see all these top guys. All they run are heavies and tanks. That's it. They don't run any other troops at all that I've seen. I mean, and you can see them, what they're building here, what they're training, right? So this guy, Captain Lars, Captain Lars, I mean, they bought their way to this level to become top players in the game based strictly on money. Right? Based strictly on using the money, and there is some collusion, some cheating that's involved here as well. We'll go to this guy CK and see what he's running. Oh, look at that. Tanks, all tanks, right? I mean, I got attacked by tanks when I was like HQ 7. There's like three HQs above me that's attacking me. So this guy's, again, heavies and tanks. But this is why they run a beta, right? Obviously, they run a beta. They want to adjust things as they go, but just looking at the army configurations of these top players, that's all they're using. That's all they're using. There has to be some sort of modifications that they can make to the army troops in order to make it better. So that, I mean, who wants to see all 100% heavy / tank raids every day, day in, day out? Right? I mean, I guess it's kind of the same in Clash of Clans. A lot of the times you see the Hog Riders. The Hog Riders are really, I don't know if you'd call them OP, but I get owned by Hog Riders, and those are the only battles that I lose in Clash of Clans typically on my defenses. Okay, but I'm gonna divert to an image here that somebody linked me on Twitter, and it's of a resource base, and it's this guy Ting. It's his resource base. The resource base is I think it's rated level 420. I mean, check this thing out. Look at all the defenses in this base. Are you kidding me? He's got his outpost sitting back there. Okay, the only way this thing got to a level of like 420 or whatever is because, and hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but it appears the only way you can do that is if you and the other guy who you were sharing, who were battling out back and forth for the resource base, put your outpost directly on the beach and moved your defenses as far back as possible so that somebody could just come in and take out the outpost, and then the other guy comes in, takes out the outpost. The other guy comes in, takes out the outpost. And every single time the outpost gets taken on this resource base, the defenses upgrade. Okay? Pretty damn obvious that these guys have colluded in order to get the outpost to this level. And, there's nothing, Supercell hasn't done anything. Again, it is beta. But it's so obvious, it's painful. And I don't think they'll ever do anything about it. Because, to be honest, I think they want these players at the top level. They want these players that spend a lot of money. I'm sure these guys have spent a lot of money. They didn't spend a lot of money getting this resource base to where it is. But on their regular base, definitely, I'm sure they spent a lot of money, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in order to buy their way to the top level. And you see that, unfortunately, with the pay-to-play games, they're still a lot of fun to play. And I myself did buy some diamonds for Boom Beach, which I'm done doing. I mean, I did it for a little bit just to get some of my stuff upgraded at HQ 5, 6, I think. And I also bought some gems in Clash of Clans just to get my 5 builders. But for YouTube as well, I mean, for me to bring you guys content, etc., it's kind of a business expense to a degree, I guess. But at the same time, I don't really like it. I don't really like buying your way to the top levels. And it's something that I'm really not interested in doing. So does that mean that I can never become a top player? Not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily mean that, but it definitely means it will take me a heck of a lot longer than pretty much anybody else to get there. All right, and that's the reality, and that's the reality you go into when you start playing these games, and that's what you have to understand, that you'll never, it'll take you forever to get to those top levels, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to try, right? What do you guys think? If you want to leave me some comments, go to Twitter, at NGT Mobile. I know I've disabled comments in the videos. It was just for some personal reasons, but if you guys want to interact, I'm usually on Twitter, and I will interact with you guys there. So leave me some messages. Let me know what you think. But isn't that resource base just insane? I don't know. And like I said, these guys will never get banned. It's unfortunate. They should get banned, like outright. Sorry, you guys are colluding, cheated. Yeah, whatever. You spend however much money on the game, doesn't matter. Bye-bye. But they'll never do that. They'll probably never do that. I mean, if they do, then I'll eat my words, but I don't see it happening. All right, guys, that's it. Get to number 1. Let's see if we can get to the number 1 spot on the leaderboards on Clash of Clans and Boom Beach. Pfft. Yeah. See you sometime. I don't know. 2018. We'll see. Spider out.